Are you looking for detectives who act like they're doing hard work?
And is it difficult for you to find a duo who fulfills that deed?
Well, look no further, as detectives at work are here to not save the day.
That's right, folks. We detectives have broken many records for being the laziest and irresponsible yet undeniably charming people you will ever meet in our circle.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. In our repertoire, we've succeeded in not putting out fires, not helping cats out of trees, and there's plenty more other unhelpful scenarios where that came from.
How about we hear from some of our satisfied customers?
My son has a gnarly addiction to Legos and surfboards, so he always ended up splattering Legos on the floor for me to trip on. I thought it was a puzzling cinch, so I called up detectives at work, and you want to know what they did? Do you really want to know? They threw even more Legos on the ground and smacked me across the face with a surfboard 20 times. Needless to say, life has worked out well for me, except for those recurring back problems and doctor's appointments. Ooh, ah.
I'm an old man and my technology can be really faulty at times. Up to it. I always suspected my neighbor who had a tip with me was behind some of these tiggery technical problems. I saw a slightly torn up ad promoting detectives at work, and I thought to myself, they should be helpful. Then I thought I'd have to get up and use a phone, so I decided not to call them. But anyway, when they arrived in my neighborhood, they asked me questions to help jump to a conclusion, and went to my neighbors and asked him questions. Turns out I was reading the instructions, so all of these do hit gadgets wrong, but it gets better. The detectives at work not only helped me jump to my conclusion, but they bashed all of my equipment with their exclusive detective hammers and charged me $500 for their hard work. Isn't that swell?
If that wasn't enough for you, we have more lovely comments from our customers.
You can never have enough complimentary reviews from such diverse customers like you.
Detectives at work are very talented detectives. One time, when I needed help finding missing pieces of my drum sets, they came back with pieces of stringed instruments. They played a whole half-hour concert for me, and they played and played and played, I tell ya. Oh my goodness, my brothers. And they had exploding pyrotechnics. Their service only cost me $700, and they let me clean up my own shop. Isn't that amazing?
And the best part about that review was he was a frog. Now, what about you? Those detectives helped me with a littering problem outside of my business. How did Judy is such a lovely guy. He kind of looks like my son who looks like me, and he has a mustache. And hide and seek is so mysterious. Reminds me of that one podcast host. But anyways, they cleaned up my lot, and when I told them some of my competitors' spots, upon being questioned, they dumped all the garbage on our lots. Isn't that helpful? What?
And I gotta tell you, people, even though that lady might have sounded like a drunk Meryl Streep late to work, she was very passionate about her review to us, detectives at work.
You don't want to miss any of our upcoming detective discounts. It's sure to be a delight. 10% off for Veterans Day, 12% off for Mother's Day, 112% off for your birthday. That's right. We pay you to hire us.
So please, do not hesitate to contact us at
phone number privately withheld for promotional purposes. Detectives at Work, LLC. They're not Dumb and Dumber. They're just different.
Welcome back to another episode from the Western Reviews podcast, ladies and gentlemen out there, podcast listeners. I am your host, the Western Wonder, and today I have my recurring guest once again with me, and it's an honor having him up again today. If you would please give yourself Just give yourself a hand, sir, because you deserve your own hand. For Mr. Curtis Elton, tried to call Elton John to see if he had any relation to Elton, but still, regardless of the fact he's here, how are you doing today, sir?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm inhaling and I'm exhaling, and I'm here.
That's the way to do it.
If you want to find out more information about our upcoming releases from both of our respective podcasts, you might want to stay tuned to the end of this podcast review. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss it. I wouldn't want to miss it. And I'm sure Kurt wouldn't want to miss it, right?
I definitely wouldn't want to miss it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who take two side effects. Take two side effects.
Well, you know what they say, best of 50.
Best of 50.
Very common catchphrase. Best of 50.
Best of 50. That sounds good. That sounds good. But yes, all that information. Now, without further ado, we're going to get started into today's review for Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
They faced incredible odds and unbeatable enemies to earn the name Hero. But now there's a new way to spell action. Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. He's the best there is.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Pet Detective.
Actually, he's the only one there is.
You really love animals, don't you?
If it gets cold enough.
Now, the mascot of the Miami Dolphins has been kidnapped.
Oh, righty then.
And he's on the case of a lifetime.
Listen, Pet Dick, how would you like me to make your life a living hell?
Well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, Lois.
There's no place he won't go.
Captain's log, starting 23.9.
Ace, get out of the tank.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
Nothing he won't do. And no one he can't handle.
Hey! I could do anything to embarrass me in front of camp.
What? Like this?
Hi, Captain Stubing.
Because when this pet detective gets the scent,
Where's Dan Marino?
Hi, I'm Dan Marino.
Reno, why?
Because he's about to join Snowflake.
he'll follow it anywhere.
Here's Snowflake.
Jim Carrey is
Do not go in there.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
I've been really debating this and whether we should start with spoiler-free discussion and then spoilers. But it's like, if you haven't seen Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, what are you doing with your life? So there's probably going to be spoilers throughout.
And there won't be sound effects to warn you.
Absolutely.
Except this one right here. See what I did, folks? I made him do extra work because now he has to put in a sound effect.
Now, the movie is actually a 90s, mid-90s motion picture. You have an all-star cast, really. Who's who of the 90s. You have Jim Carrey, hot off the heels from his run on In Living Color. It was a popular variety show back then. You got Courteney Cox before Friends, or Friends might have premiered that same year or the year after. You got Tone Loc, who did songs such as Wild Thing and Funky Cold Medina. And Sean Young, who I only know was once married to Charlie Sheen. I'm actually surprised to actually know that the movie, when it first came out, did not receive positive reviews from critics. Matter of fact, I think it sits at a 40-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm shocked. But it
does? I thought that was a cable guy.
No. Ace Ventura has
The cable
45.
guy wasn't good to start off with, and now it's just gone through the roof.
Right.
1 hour later.
But it is a great movie. What can
It
you
is.
say? What can I say? It's a good film. And the style in it. But personally, as you can tell, I get parts of my clothing from it.
Yes.
I'll be right
Look
there.
at you.
Yep, I am wearing a Hawaiian shirt with shorts.
Oh,
If people cannot see, I only wear Hawaiian shirts because I just do. No one needs to know why. I just like it.
all right. Sounds good to me, honestly.
No, I was expecting a punchline. I was trying to come up with a punchline during it, but I couldn't say it, so I just said none of your business.
It's all good. It's all good. But we both love the movie. And just one more time, for those that are listening out there, it's just a warning. There are going to be spoilers as we go over the plot and the storyline of the movie, what was going on. But I mean, here's where it all starts, where you need to know about. The first person that you need to know about, I think is very obvious, is Ace Ventura himself. How do you start off a movie review when I'm talking about Ace Ventura?
Ideally with the opening credits.
Right, absolutely.
That's a good place to start.
Right, basically. Ace Ventura is a detective who specializes in recovering animals that have been deemed missing, which is why he has the title Pet Detective. Sometimes when his job proves to be pretty dangerous, he sometimes forms to be different disguises, working under different jobs. A lot of various scenarios that he goes through throughout the movie. In other words, he's pretty good at his job, even though he is pretty misunderstood by some of his fellow detectives out there who do more normal stuff. Law and order shtick.
Yeah, the boring stuff. People
Absolutely.
Yeah. But if you want to find a missing pet, you call Ace.
Absolutely. I mean, he is the guy. That is the go-to.
Cool. Pets Detectives LLC. I heard they agreed too.
Right. Detectives at work. I mean, they are famous for not doing the job. It sounds kind of like us.
Strange you would say that. Very strange.
Mm-hmm. There is more than meets the eye, folks. But from the opening credits, Ace's first mention is to show pretty much what he does, recovering a dog from this big buff guy. Kind of looks like a retired wrestler. Ends up taking his dog, and in order to distract him, goes through the whole opening sequence, purposely breaking a fragile blocks of glass to deliver to this guy. Just he's kickboxing it, throwing it around, just purposely messing with the box when it obviously says fragile.
What was your favorite bits from the whole film?
Oh, we're gonna get into it. One of the first ones, obviously, is the opening bit. Not exactly the kickboxing with the fragile box per se, but the car sequence. This is where the buff guy just spawns out of nowhere and just goes crazy. And Ace and the dog ends up biting him so he can get away from the car. And mid process, he's gonna go, "Could you give me a hand there, buddy?" And dude just smashes the glass, and Ace says, "Alrighty then." His quote. It's entirely funny.
You're doing it wrong. Try again.
Could you demonstrate for the audience out there?
Yeah, why not? Alrighty then. I think that's... See, now you try. It has more throats and
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
I like it.
Whew, almost got whiplash. All right, but I'm in it. I'm still in it. I'm still in it to win it. But the major objective of this movie that Ace has to go through is he has to figure out this case involving a missing team member for the Miami Dolphins, which is actually a real football team. They still play to this day. And he has to go around and figure out this mission while he has to deal with this suspicious cranky old woman named Einhorn, Lieutenant Einhorn, played by Sean Young, and in the process ends up befriending. I feel bad for saying Monica from Friends. I know that's not her name.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, the show Friends?
No, I'm the only one who hasn't.
I haven't. I don't watch much of the show either. I only know the theme song with the, that's all I know.
Well, everyone knows the theme song.
Everybody knows the theme song. Yeah.
You gotta know it. Oh yeah.
But yeah, he ends up befriending Melissa Robinson, who's the publicist for the team, played by Courteney Cox, in order to figure out this case and also figure out what happened to missing dolphin named Snowflake. That's an interesting thing. Unfortunately, even though the Miami Dolphins team is real, Snowflake the dolphin is not a real dolphin that you'd find at somewhere like, say, I don't know, SeaWorld or something.
Yeah, it's a Miami dolphin. It's not an Orlando dolphin. It's not a New York dolphin. It is a Miami dolphin. This one has.
It's not even a London dolphin. It is a Miami dolphin.
A Miami dolphin.
Absolutely. And another funny bit of mine comes in where Ace has to figure out the right team member by the ring that they got after playing, various games down from playoffs to the Super Bowl. And it's a funny humor sequence where he just goes at different locations to figure out which person has the right ring. So ends up running across tracks, looking at another guy in the bathroom who turns out that he likes Ace being a peeping Tom, and Ace gets weirded out and runs out. Would not be kind of a joke that would be well received today, definitely. But eventually, it makes you wonder, will Ace get that ring?
It does make you wonder, and I wonder what happens. Does
right.
it?
I guess we'll never know, because in a plot twist, he dies trying to search this one millionaire's house when he suspects a ring, trying to figure out some clues, and he almost drowns to death.
Do not go in there. Woo!
Eventually, the case gets a little more mysterious when one of the heads of the Dolphins team miraculously ends up committing death by suicide by jumping out of his apartment window sometime later. So Ace is like, this is suspicious. So he goes in to try to figure out the case, and we get another humorous sequence with the balcony sequence where he points out the soundproof balcony.
Oh, there is just one more thing, Lieutenant. This woman is Roger Podacter's neighbor. She lives across the hall. She said she heard a scream. Is that right, ma'am?
Right.
And you said you had to open the balcony door when you keyed into the room?
Yeah, that's true.
You're certain you had to open this door?
Yeah, I'm certain.
What's the point, Ventura?
Only this.
Oh, yeah. That's a very good scene.
A very funny scene. Needless to say, the Lieutenant Einhorn is not very amused by this. And once again, he is called off as being misunderstood. Ace starts to investigate more about this miraculously missing team player, Ray Finkel, and ends up meeting his parents, and they tell him, he lost his mind and went to a mental institute, but escaped somehow miraculously. It sounds like a Les Miserables kind of story. Got sent to a mental institute, but escaped.
Yeah, it does seem a lot like that, but without so much death and sadness and the miserable bit.
Yes, Mr. Say that 15 times.
I couldn't.
Me neither.
What about? I like the bit personally where he is in. Where is it? Yeah, cite my notes. Where it is. That's close.
Well, I was like, tell me.
When he was in the police station. Right in the police station, and he was sitting down in the chair, and he got up, and he was saying he wants to carry it on, and then he sat down in the chair, and a voice, notes. Oh yeah, he was sitting down in the chair, and then he was saying, I'll do it. And then if he doesn't give what he likes, then all hell breaks loose.
Oh, it goes crazy. Go absolutely crazy. I mean, really, it's a mess.
Now, the other part I like about the film is all the GIFs you have on Twitter.
Yes, alrighty.
All the GIFs. Most GIFs on Twitter are from this film, and because this film has it all.
Ace visits the office of the lieutenant and has her in a tizzy until he mentions the name of Ray Finkle, and he breaks down his observations so far. Broke out of a mental institute. Apparently is still under search for, and she's gratefully impressed, and then just ends up tonguing him down like like I don't know, Sharon Stone.
Congratulations. You've done some fine detective work. Ace.
I'm sorry, could you speak into my good ear? I thought I heard you call me Ace.
Maybe I was wrong about you. Maybe you are more than just a pet dick.
Your gun is digging into my hip.
What's wrong, Ace? Want me to read you your rights?
Another funny quote.
I get it now.
Right, I was like, well, it's a good indicator for what's to come later in the story. Your gun is pressed.
It is. Now when I watch a film, or a TV show, I always listen sometimes carefully to the first 10 minutes, because usually it ends with maybe a tiny hint in the first 10 minutes.
Right, and that was
just
the
like
first.
That.
Your gun is pressing against.
Is it a gun, though? We'll find out soon.
Oh, yeah. Now, Ace's next move is proven to be another hilarious bit, where he ends up pretending to be a mentally challenged person that goes to a mental institute that formerly housed Ray Finkle to figure out some more items from his memorabilia that he kept within his room before he, bailed out. Does he find something? Who knows? No,
you can spoil it. You gave him a warning. You can spoil it.
He fell into a box. He heard somebody walking into there, so Ace had to go hide inside of this box, and he ended up getting sucked into the void, and that was the movie. Or was it?
Boom. Just like that.
Tone Loc, Funky Cold Medina. That's another take for you. Ends up finding some love letters from the late Predactor on Einhorn's cabinet after she leaves to go wherever lieutenants go after a long day of work.
Yeah. Where do they go?
I don't know. Maybe they go down to the vault. Or maybe they go home.
Oh, you're back.
Yes. I know you were confused. Like, where did he go into the void?
You've been gone for 4 days.
Yes, and I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you. And Ace tries to figure out what the link is between Einhorn and Finkle after the love letter revelation. It's like Einhorn, Finkle. Finkle,
Einhorn. Oh, now I get it.
Einhorn is Finkle.
Is the long-lost cousin of Einhorn, who is actually a goat.
In other words, Einhorn is a man goat.
If that's your scapegoat, go with it.
But yes, I totally went over my head watching it originally a couple years ago. Definitely would not be done today, especially with the prolonged sequence of Ace burning clothes, showering. you get a good Carrey butt shot. Just ass just running, to take a shower. It's a mess. And he vomits. I'm like, oh my goodness. This is a painful sequence to watch. I don't like seeing Ace suffer like that, but he had to do it.
He had to do it.
And the movie ends.
It ends
after the
when he
revelation.
finds the dolphin in Miami.
Miami. Where else? Not New York. Not Chicago. Not LA. But Miami.
Yes. Not Connecticut. Not Swahili. That's a language. 1 second. Not Connecticut. Not Chicago. Not San Francisco. Not San Diego. Not Santiago. Not Orlando. I said that.
Not Dallas. Not Houston. Not Salt Lake City. I think it might have been Miami. Perhaps. But yes,
Maybe
the story is.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Well, that makes sense. Miami it is.
Yes. But yes, the movie ends with an enraged Einhorn keeping Ray Finkel, not Ray Finkel. See, this is how I get mixed up. Dan Marino, sorry. Einhorn keeps Marino captured and plans to shoot him and frame Ace for his murder, and ends up calling the whole police squad and everybody and their mamas and dads to have Ace arrested once and for all. However, he has to think quick and kill time until they get there and break down his final verdict on this whole case. So he points out to everybody that Einhorn is indeed a man, but it takes a while. He. Oh
yeah, and then he gets him undressed and waits, and then he goes, and then suddenly.
And the facial expression.
What does he do? Yep. He tells him to turn around, and boom, just like that. I had my doubt.
Like that. Right. I was like, then I'm like, now I get it. Now I get why he was losing his mind.
Yeah. Me too. Now, actually, he's like that all the time. But apart from the gifts, I will keep coming back to because I use them a lot. Apart from the gifts, the critic reviews, the scapegoat, the many different catchphrases, which are all great. This film is a very good film. One of the greatest films ever made, folks. And only see 6%. But who wrote that? Probably the critics. We know who matters? The people.
Probably.
Yeah. 7 out of 10. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
What do you rate it? On your scale of 1 to Yahoo-tastic? Is that it?
Yeah. I think my rating. See, this is my first time getting back to doing proper movies because I've been doing music podcast stuff. So I think I'm at a yeehaw-tastic. I think that was
oh yeah, that's it. I thought it was Yahoo. Yeehaw-tastic.
You broke up there for a minute, but I heard you.
oh, yeehaw-tastic. Okay, there we go.
Yes.
Now, Sean, go on the second movie, the sequel.
But yeah. Quick thoughts here. He's ready to move on. Yeehaw-tastic.
Come on, let's move on quickly. Move on.
Yeah. The movie's great. The movie's funny. Absolutely great. Terrific. They need to definitely arrest Einhorn because you just kissing dudes without consent. That's
1 hour later.
And I'm gonna let you have the floor because I haven't seen the sequel at all in a while. So you have the floor.
From what I remember about the sequel, it is great. Two of my favorite scenes. One where he's stuck in the rhino and he's moving around in the rhino, and then he's in the rhino and people are looking and saying, "Oh, the rhino's getting buff," and then he just comes out. And he's opening out. Do you remember that? Google it online. He's coming out of the rhino. He's in a rhino disguise. Then he gets trapped, and he's in a rhino disguise. He gets trapped, and then it gets very hot because he's in Africa, I think. And then he gets out, and he has to suddenly come out of the. He has to come out of the rhino, one way or the other. And they say the rhino's giving birth, but nope, it's a human.
Wow.
Yes, very graphic. The show is no longer PG. Also, I just saw a good meme online that I remember. He says, and I quote, "And you must be the Monopoly guy. Thanks for the free parking." If you Google, that's online. he's speaking to a person with a monocle who's bald with a mustache. So, there you go. And my other one is when he is fighting the tribes. He's fighting the... Do you remember that scene?
In the sequel?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. I'm sorry.
Darn it. Google it. He's fighting the tribes, and he's going up, and he beats one person, but then he suddenly goes up against the leader, and he rolls him around, and then he starts screaming. He gets thrown with the javelins a few times, and then he screams and goes, ah! I would scream, ah! Ah! On each one. So he screams on each one. Great sequel. It's a great sequel. You really have to see it. Especially where they're going, ah! Ah! With the screaming and the...
You sound like a geese in pain.
Yeah, I am. I haven't done that in a long time. I am a geese in pain.
Oh, yeah.
But also, again, the shirts. It's where I get my style from. Because the reason is, he's energetic, I'm energetic. I guess energetic people just like Hawaiian shirts.
Hey,
yeah.
I was good to get the insider.
Oh, yeah. That was so close, you probably did get an insider.
Right, I was gonna go close, and I was gonna be sorry, I bumped into the camera.
Stupid. I'm hitting you across the camera. There we go.
Okay, but yes, you said the sequel is good. Ace Ventura is good. Of course, that's gonna be a highlight reel.
Well, usually a sequel isn't as good as the original, and I'm not sure. How did the sequel do? Oh, you said it didn't do as well.
Well, the sequel actually made more money than the first movie, but the ratings are low on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's strange because it was probably funnier.
Yeah, the first movie only made $107 million at the worldwide box office, and the sequel made $212 million at the box office. I'm surprised about that.
So obviously it's a better film, but it is a great film, and anyone who doesn't like it needs to stop watching your show.
And jump off a cliff.
Yeah, you do that. Actually, if I can't say that, I'll get sued.
Right. We wouldn't want that. Oh,
but everyone likes it, so that's good.
Absolutely. This is going to be condensed because, once again, we always go all over the place, and I wing it. I just wing it. Yes, indeed.
So out of the second one, which one was your favorite scene from what you can't remember?
The part where I jumped into the void and lost all memories of watching certain highlights. Maybe the tribe that resembled Wakanda before Wakanda, but after Zamunda, and the love interest, and that's it.
Great. That's something, I guess.
But that wraps up our loose, somewhat of a review for Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. See, you have too much fun here.
I don't know what we spoke about today. Today we spoke about gifts, Hawaiian shirts. We spoke about 2 movies with mixtures in the middle. We spoke about critics. We spoke about audiences, and we spoke about coming out, being stuck in a rhino.
Right.
And a goat. We spoke about goats.
A man goat.
Yeah, and then I made a joke. Your radar was on point, and that's what this episode has been.
Enough of all the lollygagger and talking about all the stuff. We finally come down to the end. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Curtis Elton because he has an announcement, and you can find out take 2. Mr. Curtis Elton has an announcement to make, and when you listen to him, you can figure out where you can listen to his podcast. Take it away, Kurt.
Hello, folks. It's been a while. I'm getting old, you're getting young. No, I'm getting young, you're getting old. Anyway, this is what's gonna happen. Guess what? The Listen podcast is back.
What?
From hiatus. From a 5.5-month hiatus. There we go.
Yes.
It is coming back. It is going to be better than ever, and I am looking forward to recording the episode. What it is about, I do not know. I never do. Neither do you. Even when it is out, I will still not know what it is about. And you can find it right now. As this episode is ended, you can find it right now on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It is called a Listen podcast, and you can get it anywhere. Then follow me on follow me on Twitter, Instagram at listenpod.
Woo!
There we go.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
See you there. Wait, let me see you there.
Okay, I think the ball is back. He's indicating the ball is back in my court. Yes. For the West Reviews podcast.
Catch it. Catch it.
Yes, work ethic. Okay, for the Western Reviews podcast, because I do two podcasts, the Western Reviews podcast and two Grumpy Music Snobs podcasts. There's going to be some new episodes coming from both. What you can expect coming up, the conclusion to my Rolling Stone discussion on my two Grumpy Music Snobs podcast, and some more music artist discussions, sorta. And on my Western Reviews podcast, you can expect some more reviews to come. Anniversary reviews for new movies, including F9, Fast and the Furious number 9, where I discuss when is enough for this franchise. Obviously not right now because they made another one, and they say they are making at least 2 more after this one. I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But if you are ever so kind, you can follow my podcast on my Twitter at reviews_Western. You can find more information there, a link to where you can stream. Currently wrapping up my website. I've said this a while, but I'm busy. Hopefully that'll be introduced by the time this drops. If not, I'm busy. And on my Instagram, you can follow me at Western Reviews Official. There you can also find information. There's a link to where you could stream and check out all the episodes I've done. Over 30 now, almost 30. I don't even know. I lost count. And I hope to see you guys on the next one when we do that. Kurt, it was great having you on again, talking about.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
On a little bit of everything.
It was a great episode. Thank you for having me, and go check out my show right now.
And check out my show after this episode. You're already checking it out now, so. But thank you all for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.